Hi everyone, Bobbie LaPorte here again with this week's Let's Get Growing tip, where I help you take charge of your plans and accelerate your initiatives as you head into the end of this year. I thought I would share with you a little of the sunrise over to my left shoulder here at Lake Tahoe this morning. And yes, it's hard to believe that this week we're moving into the month of December. Would you ever have believed that when we started sheltering in place back in March that we would still be here today? And with the high likelihood that we'll be here for a while longer. You know, that's enough to tire out even the most resilient leader. And I continue to hear from many of you that you're exhausted, that you feel like you're running out of ideas and approaches to support your team and to keep them focused, and that you're just plain worn out trying to deal with your own personal and professional challenges. I get it. There's no question that we are all physically, emotionally, and psychologically tired. And for many of you, you still have year-end activities to wrap up, plus the holidays coming upon us. With all of these competing priorities, how can you continue to ask your team to do more? Well, the answer is you can and you can't. Let me explain. You need to keep work moving forward, of course, but you can only ask people to do so many things right now. Cognitive overload is at an all-time high. Many people are feeling totally tapped out. So as a leader, what can you do? Well, one idea I have to offer is just to keep it simple. Focus on what's essential versus exhaustive. So again, focus on what's essential that you want your team to do, not an exhaustive list of things that you would like them to do. And in the past, you might naturally have used this time of year to load people up with year-end tasks, change initiatives, heading into a new year, other challenges you need them to take on in addition to regular activities like planning and people management, etc. But right now, it's just too much. So here's my tip. Number one, going back to essential versus exhaustive. Group your most essential requests together. So let's say, for example, you have like 8 or 9, essential things you need your team to focus on. Place them in groups, like 3 groups of 3, for instance, if you have 8 or 9, or if you have less than that, 2 groups of 3, of related areas. So maybe you group things into product, into planning, into people management, whatever functional areas that you can group them into, but put them in small groups. What that allows you to do is to take advantage of the brain's ability to pay attention in short bursts. Right? We can't focus on a lot of things right now, but we can focus on a few things with the cognitive attention that we do have. The second thing is, in addition to putting activities into groups, it's important to create fluency and understanding of how what you need from your team relates to your overarching priorities. So taking those groups of activities you want them to focus on, again, essential versus exhaustive, and making sure that they relate to the overall priorities and direction. Remember, don't assume that people know what you need from them, that they get what the direction and the priorities are. Their world has changed, and they need to know that the priorities and direction that you've set has not. So you want to make it very easy for them to recall what you need them to do, again, essential versus exhaustive, and what it relates to in terms of the overall priorities and direction. So that's my Get Growing tip for this week. I'll see you next Monday, and remember to see this time as an enabler, not a liability or a time to pause, waiting for certainty to return. All right, everyone, have a great week. Take care.